At the age of 4, I was a first-class wimp. I remember one day Mama said, "Thank God the snow has stopped. We can enjoy some fresh air." I whined back, "It's cold on the street." "You'll get roses in your cheeks," she said. I had to go because Mama told me to. A girl with blue eyes and blonde curls could be naughty, and her family would love her anyway. But I had the coloring of a paper bag and straight hair besides. I had to behave. Down on Broadway, a flock of mothers in black coats huddled together like penguins, stamping their feet to keep warm. Mama made a beeline for Mrs. Cooper, who was all smiles. What a pleasure to get out after being cooped up with Justin all day. Usually a licking on Saturday keeps him in line all week, but yesterday he was so rotten I had to give him another. Sometimes that kid is a pain in the you-know-where. "What's the you-know-where?" I asked. Mama peered down at me. "Are you still here? Go play with the other children. Be friendly." I joined the little girls shaping a mound of snow. Nearby, little boys made faces and jeered. Every so often, one of them stepped over and hit a girl. She would burst into tears and run to her mother for a hug and a kiss. Justin barreled over. I was happy to see him, and I smiled. He said nothing and smacked my face. The slap stung, and I started wailing instantly. "Cry, baby," he shouted. I fled to Mama, but she didn't hug and coo like the other mothers. Her eyes blazed like blue Christmas lights. "What are you running to me for? Get back there and fight." I tapped Justin on the shoulder. He walloped me again, but harder. I burst into tears. Mama coached from the sidelines. "Hit him back. Get him in the guts." I wanted to, but the tears kept coming. I retreated to Mama. "Nobody loves a crybaby," she said, clamping a handkerchief on my nose. "Blow." 4 years passed, but I stayed a wimp. I had plenty of chances to defend myself. Usually I ran away instead. Mama said, "Look at Thelma and Miriam. They always hit back. Mrs. Katz must be so proud." Ever since Mrs. Cooper insulted Mama and Mama whacked her on the head with a rolled-up magazine, she spent afternoons with Mrs. Katz. I enjoyed reading the encyclopedia in her apartment, but when I started to enter the building, Mama said, "No, play with the other children, be friendly. Don't eat their Indian nuts either. We have Lofts candy at home." Except for the Indian nuts, I hated playing with Thelma and Miriam. They made fun of my hair and my clothes, called me Fraidy Cat. "It's cold, Mama," I whined. "You'll get roses in your cheeks." Mama could afford to say that. Her roses came out of a compact. She went inside. I spotted Thelma and Miriam down the street. They weren't jumping rope or even playing potsy. They were standing in line with 4 other girls facing a skinny boy with a pinched, angry face. I asked Thelma, "Why are you all standing in a row?" She jerked her head toward the boy and whispered, "So Neil can sock us in the belly. He's real tough. Quick, you get in line too." Neil must have been tough. It was the middle of January and he wasn't wearing a cap. I fell into place right away. The boy swaggered over to the head of the line where a girl inches taller than he was stood perfectly still as he slugged her in the gut. She didn't hit back. Neil socked a second girl in line. She didn't hit back either. I couldn't understand why they all lined up to get hit, but I said nothing. Neil socked each girl in turn. He came to a halt in front of me. But before he could do anything, I drew back my right arm and using my fist, punched him hard right in the belly. Neil let out a grunt and doubled over in pain. I clipped his jaw with a left upper cut that sent him sprawling on the sidewalk. Quickly, I straddled him and drew my knees up near his armpits. The other girls formed a semicircle. They yelled, "Get him, get him!" I lifted Neil's head and was ready to bang it on the pavement when suddenly I saw Mama's pumps standing in front of me. Her eyes were blazing like Christmas lights again, and she yelled, "Get off that boy this instant. Can't you ever act like a lady?" Victory collapsed like a torn balloon. I had hit Neil and right in the guts, the way Mama always wanted, but that didn't please her either. But so what if she was dragging me home right now? I'd done it, I'd done it, I'd done it. I had defended myself and then some. If any girl dared call me Frady Cat again, I would hold up my fists and say, "Remember what happened to Neil." Then I would let her offer me Indian nuts. As Mama and I rushed along Broadway, I glanced into the mirror on a drugstore scale and caught a glimpse of red highlights in my hair and on my sallow cheeks, the beginning of roses. I think I should tell you two things. Indian nuts are pine nuts. I don't remember the second.